earlier you said, like, in describing this of like first starting to pray over people and do this more in church, it's been several months now, right? Do you still feel like scared? Is it still, you use the word risky? Is that, are all of those things still there, or is like now it's a confidence about it?
Well, the thing that had to happen for me was, again, going back to the servant-hearted thing and going back to the entrepreneurial thing. I had to decide that it was okay if my church got small. Now, I didn't say that publicly to anybody.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
But I think in my own
That's
soul,
true, I'm
I think
sure.
in my own soul, I had to come to accept that if I say yes to God and I get fired, like, you know, or if I say yes to God and the church gets smaller, saying yes to God is more important.
Yeah. I love that.
And that was the battle in my soul.
Right.
And I had to say, 5 years ago, my vision for the church would have been, let's Starbucks this thing, right? Like, let's McDonald's this thing.
Yes.
Like let's 5,000 Amplify campuses in the next 2 months. You know,
Yes.
and I still believe that there are supposed to be multiple campuses in multiple places. 100%. I just think that what we're bringing to those places is different than what we would have brought a few years ago. And God was waiting for us to get what we actually needed. But I had to come to terms with, I have to be okay with not being the mega church superstar. I'd be okay if I lost followers on social media. I'd be okay if the church got smaller, not larger. I'd be okay if donors decided to leave. That my yes to God was going to be more important than that. And he took me through that, and it was very difficult and very stripping because I had to face all my fears. And here's the real fear, honestly, was not that I wasn't going to be successful, although that was there. The real fear was that all of my insecurities were going to be proven to be true. Because if the church doesn't grow, and if the church isn't successful, and if we don't have a whole lot of campuses, what does that say about Jason Howard? It actually says that I'm not really great at what I do. That I don't have the talent and skill that I believe that I have. And that all of the haters and all of the critics were right. And that's what I had to wrestle down. And I had to learn that success is doing whatever the Holy Spirit told me to do. And maybe I'll get teleported. Or maybe I'll win over the next Billy Graham. Or maybe I'll be the next Billy Graham, right? Like, but any of that is okay if it's what he wants.
Right.
And I had to die to that, and that was the battle.